Hello, listeners, and welcome to another episode of Homo FOMO. We are not a spoiler-free podcast, but we're not cruel. So if you hate spoilers, know there is a strong potential we could reveal info about the media we discuss that could give away endings or major plot twists. You've been warned. Now we hope you enjoy the show. Okay, well, we need to turn this off anyway.
Is your computer haunted?
My computer's not haunted, but okay, check 1, 2, 1, 2. Howdy, folks, and welcome back to another episode of Homo FOMO, the podcast where we discuss media and all its aspects and how that media could be gay or gayer.
We need it very badly.
We need it. And why is it Homo FOMO? Because homos get FOMO, fear of missing out.
We sure do. And that fear is of missing out is lack of representation.
100%.
Anyway.
So last week is when we released our last episode. We talked about the Star Wars prequels because we're doing a full deep dive into the Star Wars universe,
Which I enjoy because Emma more and more is becoming invested in the Star Wars universe, but I may be getting less and less happy from these movies.
It is so funny how I was not a Star Wars fan. In fact, I had maybe a slight amount of disdain for Star Wars at the beginning of this, and Kai was a mega fanboy.
Yeah.
And we have reversed roles to the point where I think I'll be the one defending these movies.
Fucking Emma is like done The Mandalorian in a day.
About 2 or 3 days.
Okay, well, a very quick romp with The Mandalorian, and I'm just here being like, wow, did I write one note for A New Hope?
I have so few notes for A New Hope. So that brings us to today's episode, which we will be discussing Star Wars, the original movies, episodes 4, 5, and 6. A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, and for all you hardcore fanboys out there that just get, like, rock hard for the original trilogy, leave now.
Yeah, so this is what's interesting. There's one movie that I kind of enjoyed in this whole original saga.
Yeah.
So that being said, we're not going to be falling over ourselves, drooling over Star Wars. So if that's what you're into, protect yourself. But at the same time, like, I definitely didn't hate these movies.
They are not as bad as the prequels. I know, what a shot of praise. They're super watchable, which is not super high praise. But you know what I think it is? I think personally, maybe I'm just tired of them.
Right.
Yeah, maybe I'm just tired of the original trilogy.
This is the second time I've watched the original Star Wars movies ever.
I may be fucking burnt the fuck out, but I will be back guns a-blazing for Rogue One and the sequels and Mandalorian, but for A New Hope, it is an old hope for me. It is
a dusty, desolate hope.
Such a dusty hope. So what we're going to be doing before we talk about A Dusty Hope is we're going to be just letting you folks out there listening know that our goal in reviewing these movies is to find who the gayest character in Star Wars is.
Yes, and which characters that we ourselves as queer people identify with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we don't have to go over a lot of the plot because so many people have fucking seen these movies.
Yeah, and for the sake of time, like, you don't need us to explain Star Wars to you, or maybe you do, because honestly, plot be convoluted.
The plot be so fucking convoluted, but I'm sure we can piece it together, collage style, as we go.
Mm-hmm. And I'll link I have to remind myself to do this, but I will try and link the Looper video that describes or tells the entire story from prequels to sequels of Star Wars. It like sums it up in like a 17-minute video, and it's great. So if you felt like you need to be reminded of the plot, you can click to the link in the description of this episode, watch that, come back to the podcast. So, A New Hope.
Old Hope. A New Hope.
A new old hope.
A new old hope. Something me and Emma genuinely found very interesting at the beginning of this movie is it starts from the perspective of C-3PO and R2.
Yeah.
Yeah, this movie opens up with them avoiding the, just the Sith and the Empire coming for the ship they're on with Princess Leia. But the story essentially follows them. It follows them getting off the ship through an escape pod. It shows them landing on Tatooine and becoming enslaved by Jawas and then getting bought by Luke's family. If I was a child when this movie came out, I would have thought like, oh, this movie is about these two robots. And it's not. Like, technically, this movie is not... Those aren't the two main characters. But if you watch the first 30 minutes to 40 minutes, it's about them, which is cool. Right. I would say that C-3PO, more anxious than ever. Love that for him. Missed him.
I do, yeah.
And R2-D2 has become mysterious and secretive. What's up with that?
Did it? Yes. What is up with that?
R2-D2, he's mysterious, he's secretive, because he has a secret message from Leia. He has to get to Ben Kenobi.
Why was I going to say he has a secret message from Luke?
I mean, we'll get there.
Yeah, so that pretty much sums up what you just described, sums up my first two notes on A New Hope, which is we open with everyone's gay icons, R2 and C-3PO, and then so far this movie is about two gay robots.
Yeah, which I really appreciated. I have written down, robot married couple are fighting again.
Aw, don't go to bed angry. When do they go to bed, I wonder?
Holy shit, you've uncovered a whole new question we've never considered.
Do droids sleep?
Well, in this particular movie, C-3PO just tells Luke he's going to shut himself off because he doesn't want to listen to him and Ben talk.
Which, if only we all had that switch for when white men start talking.
Yeah, fucking C-3PO literally just turns and is like, Master Luke, if you won't be needing me, I can just shut myself off here. And then he does. His lights go out. The lights in his eyes go out.
Just like mine after we finish the prequels.
Oh, gee.
Yeah, and a little side note, too, that's interesting. A New Hope was the only movie that we managed to watch after we watched all the prequels in that, 24-hour span.
Yep.
So we had nothing for A New Hope. We had nothing left.
No. We were so burnt out. But, what keeps me going is a joyful reunion in the Jawa jail. C-3PO is so relieved to see R2-D2 after they had originally split up because they got in a fight. They went in different directions on Tatooine to try and find help. But they both end up on this Jawa, what would you call it? Dumpster?
Oh my god, the dumpster. Yeah.
Yeah, they end up in this Jawa dumpster, and C-3PO is so fucking happy to see R2 again. It's like, yeah, maybe you shouldn't have had some fucking strong words for him the last time you saw him. Maybe you should have been nicer to your husband and not kick him.
Yeah, don't kick your husband.
Don't do it.
There's a really good lesson for all of us. Mm-hmm. So am I thinking of the right dumpster scene when Leia and Han and Luke all... Nope.
That's later.
Okay, good.
No. This is before C-3PO and R2-D2 get sold to Luke's family.
Right. So we're still in... This movie is about two gay robots.
Yeah, which is wild.
Which, honestly, I think I would have watched that movie.
C-3PO and R2 are definitely engaging enough characters, which is weird because R2 doesn't have lines.
I know! It doesn't matter. It's like the two characters in Star Wars that don't speak any English or any understandable Earth language, Chewbacca and R2, are like the best characters. And
they're definitely up there.
They're definitely up there. I wouldn't say they're the best characters, but they're definitely up there. So we open with this is a movie about two gay robots. We see affection between the two. My next note is Luke is a soft icon.
Yeah. Luke just wants to go to school. He doesn't want to be a farm man, a farm boy. He wants to go off to the academy with his friends. We know he's very into technology because he himself fixes R2, quote unquote, and is able to uncover the message for Obi-Wan Kenobi from fucking Leia. So just Luke is a pretty soft boy.
Yeah, I think there's something like, I also too, I think I said this, I forget when I said this to you. It was either when we were in the car before we recorded our episode on the prequels, or it was like while we were watching A New Hope, where I was like, I still have trouble hearing Mark Hamill and not just hearing the Joker.
Oh, jeez.
Because that was how I was introduced to Mark Hamill.
That would obviously confuse the brain. Those are two. I can't think of two more different characters played by one person.
He was also a voice of Fire Lord Ozai. Forgive me, my Avatar knowledge is not up to snuff, but he also was a voice in Avatar: The Last Airbender, which I didn't find out until like a week ago.
Oh, I didn't know either.
Blew my mind. So, really famous voice actor. That's how I knew him first, which is iconic of me because I'm really the only person in the world who knew Mark Hamill as a voice actor before I knew him as Luke Skywalker.
That's entirely possible. And also, this talk of Luke being a soft boy has reminded me of that one picture where he is wearing Carrie Fisher's flower, like, shawl while they were both on set. And Carrie Fisher is, like, in her bikini that she is in the last episode.
Yeah.
And
I fucking hate that bikini, but we'll get to it.
I mean, she eventually, I think, came to dislike it. But either way, Mark Hamill is wearing that flowered shawl that was meant for Carrie Fisher. And one of them is, like, pointing at the camera.
Right. So this is why I brought up why he reminds me of the Joker. I thought that Mark Hamill was gay.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, I thought that Mark Hamill was gay for, like, the majority of my life. I wasn't super aware of Mark Hamill. It wasn't like he was a celebrity that was in my zeitgeist or that I could like recall very quickly. But anytime I brought him up, I'm like, oh, he must be gay. And I think my mom confirmed it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I was also told me that about Drew Carey.
Well.
Yeah. To my shock and surprise at 24 years old, just letting you know, Drew Carey's not gay, apparently.
Wild.
But yeah, so I thought Mark Hamill was gay, and I think that maybe the reason my mom thought he was because there's a lot of kind of canon idea story that says that Luke Skywalker is gay.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Mark Hamill himself is like, why couldn't Luke be gay? There's no reason. And that obviously gives George Lucas an aneurysm, which is all the more reason to do it.
Yeah. Why does George Lucas, besides just being homophobic, why does George Lucas get so up in arms about Luke being gay?
You know why? It's because Luke is his self-insert. The Jesus character.
Not only the Jesus character, but like just the Jesus. I was going to say the protagonist. Jesus was the protagonist, I suppose, of the butt. Well, okay, this is a different story. This is a different story.
Look out for the queering of the Bible coming 2020.
We will be burned alive. And you know what?
Here for it.
If that's how I go, that's how I go.
It's, you know what? Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess there's an absence to me in Luke's character of toxic masculinity.
Yeah.
Maybe that's just because he's in contrast with Han Solo.
Oh my God, you're so right. His motivation to find the princess isn't necessarily motivated by like sexual lust and desire or like a greed for money, as we see.
Thank God.
Yeah, as we see contrasted in Han Solo, he very much is like, we've got to help this girl I've never heard of, which is very sweet of him.
It is very sweet. I don't know. I really like the canon idea that Luke is gay. I really like the idea also that he's not rigid in his gender. I don't say that I get like gender fluidity from his character, so to speak, but like I just think that he's just not dripping in typical masculinity.
Oh, I fully agree with that. And if you're wondering who he could be gay with, I'm about to fucking test your knowledge. Do you know who Wedge Antilles is?
Of course I don't.
He's
remember
in this
that name.
movie. He is in this movie. So he is the friend Luke had back on Tatooine that he meets in the Rebel base camp. And they briefly hug and are like, hey, I haven't seen you in a while. Oh my God, I can't believe you're here. Did this just skip over in your mind?
I feel like, judging, he must have had 2 minutes of screen time.
At most.
Yeah, because this was the moment I looked down at my phone to take a note.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is, Wedge shows up during the battle sequence where Luke is looking for the part of the Death Star that he can shoot and blow up. So it's
Thank you, Jyn Erso.
Yeah, which is called the Battle of Yavin, I believe, or Yavin.
Mm-hmm.
So it's understandable that you wouldn't necessarily lock onto a character like that, but I think there is a plenty of fan fiction to be had about what if Luke's childhood best friend Wedge Antilles and him were together.
I love that.
Yeah.
I really like that a lot. I like the whole, we've known each other for a long time.
And we ended up in the rebellion.
Yeah, I'm kind of a sucker for that shit. I don't know why. I'm just they know each other so well. It's a shade of deminess in that for me, I think.
Oh, yeah. Demisexuality, you have to get emotionally attached before you feel any sort of attraction.
This is so true.
Yeah, the next note is on the Battle of Yavin, which is obviously, after the Death Star gets blown up. So if you have any notes before then, let's go.
Well, I just have a few movie nerd things to say about the look of this movie and how much I appreciated it after coming off the prequels because of the practical effects. Obviously, Star Wars is known for doing revolutionary things with its effects, and I think that it's properly rated in movie history for that. I watching it at 25 years old in 2020, I can really appreciate that this was a movie that was made in the 70s.
Oh, yeah.
And it looks impeccable.
Oh, my God.
To this day. So I really everybody who worked on the visuals of this film, I gotta hand it to them because excellent job. So that was just a little bit of a movie nerd thing.
Fully agree. That Maz Cantina scene where someone tries to hurt Luke. Oh, I did skip a note. So that scene where Luke and Ben are trying to find a pilot and they end up finding Han Solo, who of course has a ship, and Chewbacca. So obviously that bar itself is incredible. It's filled with the puppets and the practical effects and the costumes. Mwah!
Yeah.
Something that happens in that bar. The droid gay couple experience discrimination.
I have that note written right here. Big time droid oppression.
Yes. Whether it's homophobia or droid oppression or both.
It's usually mixed.
Yeah. Someone just points at R2 and C-3PO and says, we don't serve their kind here. Which, okay, on one hand, what the fuck are they consuming?
Oil?
Sounds bad. Second of all, I think I understand because this is obviously a seedy underbelly bar where people don't want to get caught by a narc. And you know what robots can do? They can capture video. But so can any human, I feel.
Yeah, these supposed humans can take video just as a droid could take video.
Yeah.
They're just as likely to narc.
Yeah.
As any droid. They think that, a droid's been programmed. Humans can be programmed.
Yeah.
People are programmed every day.
And as we see on Tatooine, droids clearly need a safe haven. Otherwise, they're going to get snatched up by the Jawas. And sold into slavery.
We hate droid discrimination. It's a weird thing that it was droids that they chose to experience oppression. That's who they chose in.
So weird.
Yeah, but that's their stand-in for the oppressed minorities on Earth. How we can liken it back to that.
Maybe.
I guess. All right, so after droid oppression and the battle of the Yavin, there we go.
Well, we've skipped over the part that people like the most, which I assume is meeting Han Solo, breaking into the Death Star.
Right, sorry.
Falling into the dumpster.
Falling into the dumpster is the only part of A New Hope that I clearly remember.
Yeah.
So it's no secret that I fucking hate Harrison Ford. I really don't enjoy watching Harrison Ford. he, to me, is incredibly emotionless in every performance he's ever given. I don't think he's a good actor or a pleasant human being. Like Brad Pitt's not a good actor, but there's something about Brad Pitt that's likable. So you keep watching his movies, and he can emote to a degree.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people, like I consider Rami Malek somebody who's incredibly enjoyable to watch, but not exactly like a transformative actor. And we can get into that in another episode.
Yeah,
that I want to do on Bohemian
Rhapsody
Rhapsody versus Rocket Man. But yeah, so Harrison Ford to me is a bad actor that lacks likability, and Han is he's a space cowboy, and I fucking don't jive with big masculine, toxic masculine men.
Yeah. I can acknowledge, I have to have a certain degree of cognitive dissonance because I obviously watched these movies as a kid, as well as I was very fucking into Indiana Jones.
Right.
So Baby Kai had a giant fat gay crush on Harrison Ford as a young man. I say a young man. He was definitely 30
He was at least 32 or 34 or something in the first Star Wars film.
Yeah. Well, I just fucking Baby Kai loved that. And honestly, adult Kai loves that too.
If Han were gay, Han would be fucking cool.
Because
he's like Orville Peck.
Oh my god, you're right.
You know what I mean? That like gay, like very overtly masculine, kind of like, I'm gonna deepen my voice. And for those of you who don't know, Orville Peck is an amazing gay singer, and you should absolutely look into his music because it's wonderful and gay. But
he's also a cowboy.
He's also a cowboy from Canada. Ayo. Yeah, which if you're like, how does that work? Look up Alberta. Anyway. Yeah, so but he basically has kind of like a little bit of a fetishism to his I'm just lacking the word right
vibe.
now. La vibe, correct. Yeah, he has a little bit of fetishism tied into his la vibe. But it's just like very overly masculine to the point where it's kind of satire.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, and I think if Han were that, I would like Han.
Interesting.
And I have a note of saying like Han and Chewie 2020 because I do think that Chewie is in love with Han, but I do feel that love is unrequited.
Oh, my heart.
I know it breaks.
Chewie, you beautiful bear.
I know.
Well, what I'm going to say about that is after the Battle of Yavin, after Han says he's going to leave because he already saved the princess, he did his mission, he's not going to get tied up in a rebellion. He actually stays and helps, and after the Battle of Yavin, him and Luke are all fucking over each other.
Oh my god, yeah, that was something that was really... Why did I just write lightsaber matches Luke's eyes?
Maybe it does.
Anyway, I thought I made a note about that. Yeah, that they were all over each other. They were so into their... Yeah.
And honestly, they have such a better relationship. We'll go on to talk... Well, I'll go on to talk about it in later movies that they're in. But, like, Luke and Han have such fucking chemistry that could you even imagine if there was the romance instead and Han wasn't, like, a negging piece of shit.
Oh, my God. My God.
What an MRA he is.
Oh, he's so shitty. Oh my God, yeah.
Him and Luke's relationship's so much easier because they see each other as equals, whereas no matter how many times Leia proves herself, Han talks down to her until like probably the last fight scene in the last movie.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. So like, okay, so just before we move past A New Hope, I want to just touch on Leia.
Oh yeah.
Right out the gate, Leia's fucking awesome.
Oh my god, yes.
And I love Carrie Fisher. I've loved Carrie Fisher even before I loved Star Wars. I think she's like just the wittiest, most eloquent, wonderful, hilarious figure that we had and like as a woman too, it was so important the way she was because it broke down so many ideas of like being a lady and the etiquette that comes with that. Like she just was like much more crass, but not in an offensive way. Anyway, I just really like Carrie Fisher. So, but Leia was... I don't know how George Lucas wrote such a great female character.
Well, his wife edited the films, if that's any indication.
Right. So the final cut had a lot to do with it, you think?
Yeah, and then I'll also say, like, I don't know how much Carrie Fisher brought to the table. I have a feeling she may have been involved in the creation of the character. But just in general, like, she's so admirable. I really, really like how I'm pretty sure Luke and Han are just squabbling about what to do next. And Leia's like, well, I've decided and this is what we're doing now. Fuck you all, get in the hole.
Yeah, because she's Padme's motherfucking daughter, and she knows how to fucking rule. She knows how to fucking command and rule, and I goddamn love it. And for the 70s, too, what Carrie Fisher brings to that role and, like, what Leia then as a result ends up being is just like so revolutionary, because we really didn't see that many great female characters in the 60s and 70s. So like I think she holds up to this day as like a great feminist character.
Yeah, I don't think she compromises her values at any point in terms of the movie. She stays very consistently rebellious and strong and like a hard fighter, and internally very strong as well.
Yeah.
I mean, other than the fact that she like gives into Han's advances, presumably because she wants him to for whatever goddamn reason.
Okay, which let's sail right into Empire Strikes Back.
I have a last note.
Oh, okay.
So the last note is after the Battle of Yavin, R2 was horribly fried in the spaceship he was in with Luke.
Oh no, yeah, that's right.
And C-3PO was so fucking distraught, as you would be, and he's willing to donate anything to save his husband.
Yeah, R2 is dead and C-3PO is sad as fuck, willing to donate parts. I wondered if I took a note. Yeah.
It's so sad.
Yeah, that is 100% very gay and, of course, very sad.
Yeah.
Because this is the way. Which, I said that before I watched The Mandalorian, but we'll get into that later.
We certainly will.
Okay, so yeah, so that is the gay ending of the movie.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be the actual ending, but it's the gay ending, so it's the ending that matters.
That's true.
All right, so Empire Strikes Back. What is your first note?
Young Harrison Ford is catering to gay me specifically.
Oh, how so?
Just, he looks really good. I'm sorry, it's really, I'm that dumb. I'm just like, man, Han Solo's an asshole, but like, man, hot.
Yeah.
Boy, hot.
I can't take his caveman brow line.
Well, not a problem for me, apparently.
Good for you. Good for you. Okay, so my first note is Winter Luke has a gayer vibe, TBH.
Ooh.
I don't know why. I wish I could elaborate on that a little more.
He's just becoming gayer and stronger than ever.
Yeah, I feel like gay intensifies in that moment.
Much with the Force, as you mentioned, it's gay sexual tension, and the more Force he has, the more gayness he has.
Yeah.
And he slaughters a Yeti all by himself.
Which, how dare you slaughter a rare, beautiful cryptid?
Oh my god. Oh my god. We got a Yeti apologist over here.
I'm sorry, but if I could wave a magic wand and get rid of all the humans and just have Yetis on Earth, I would fucking wave that fucker so fast.
Okay, you got me there. So yeah, we're on the planet Hoth. This is the new Rebel Alliance base.
So pretty.
Yeah, Luke gets kidnapped by a Yeti and Han goes out to find him. But before that, him and Leia are fighting. They're arguing, of course. Because Han wants to leave. He wants to leave the Alliance, and everyone's like, oh no, don't go, you're such a good pilot, but like, we understand if you have to leave. And Leia's like, actually, you're not allowed to leave because you're good at your job. And he's like, oh, you're just in love with me. Now, a note I have is while they were fighting, if you look at the background actors, they're taking up the entirety of the hallway. So while men are trying to pass by, they have to like scooch around, like Harrison Ford and Carrie Fisher. They have to like sneak past them.
Great blocking.
Yeah, it's actually really funny because it's the same move you would do if you were like at a bar and you didn't want to say excuse me, so you just just had to make yourself smaller to move past a big man. It's very funny to watch. I highly recommend watching their fight scene again on Hoth just to see the background actors be like, oh fuck, I was supposed to walk past him in this scene.
That's the only light that there is to that scene, because my note was, ugh, Han is so sexual harassy and I hate him so much.
Yeah, that's pretty real. I mean, another reason why why Han Solo's travels are delayed is Chewie is working on the Millennium Falcon and it's taking him a long time. There actually are a couple scenes where Harrison Ford is screaming as Han Solo and his voice is cracking, and that still somehow made it into the final edit of the film.
I love that.
It's very funny where she's like, Joey! Joey, no!
There's a little spike for the listeners back.
Sorry.
Back home. Why am I saying back home? Do you guys live where I'm supposed to be living? What the fuck?
Where I'm supposed to be living. You're dead.
I'm so confused right now.
You're dead.
You're dead. And none of this world. Oh, what we do in the shadows. Anyway, yeah. So Han is trying to leave the fucking Resistance because he has no fucking spine and no values and is a piece of fucking shit.
You say that, but he's willing to risk it all for Luke. He stays to save Luke.
Yeah, but that's because he has a crush on Luke.
Yeah, he's really willing to just risk everything and go out in the middle of nowhere and save him.
I do love that he's he's having like a bisexual crisis.
Yeah.
In all of Star Wars, always. He's just always like, oh, he's so hot, but also his sister's really hot.
And it's more socially acceptable to like his sister, so...
Yeah, God,
don't
make me have sympathy for Han. God damn it. God damn it.
There's also a fight where Han and C3 are fighting, and it's very, very funny to me because C3PO refers to Han as an impossible man, which seems very high sexual tension to me.
It does.
It seems like, not that I thought there was a lot of sexual tension between Rey and Poe, but they do have that really good fight scene at the beginning of Rise of Skywalker, where essentially Rey is just like, you know what you are? You're difficult. You're a difficult man.
Well, Poe is really difficult.
Yeah, he's the new Han Solo.
He is kind of the new Han Solo, but
the gay Han Solo.
Oh my God, he is the gay Han Solo.
He's not bi, he's gay.
He's fully gay.
Yeah, he's just like, you know what? I love Finn, but also I am a dumbass.
Yeah.
And then Han is like, I love two twins, and I am a dumbass. By the way, am I blocking your notes? Tell me what happened.
No, I have a lot of gibberish right now. Like one is just me reflecting on A New Hope and being like, we almost had a story about gay robots, if only.
Oh yeah, wistful.
Yep. And then me, this is so classic of me, how did it slip by me for all of A New Hope that Obi-Wan is Ben and Ben is Kylo fucking Ren?
I don't know how you didn't understand that Kylo was named after Obi-Wan Kenobi. I don't get it.
Totally no. I mean, again, this is the only time, or the second time that I've seen Empire Strikes Back. So
it's also, actually, this is just occurring to me. Why the fuck did Leia and Han name their kid after Obi-Wan Kenobi?
Yeah, because
they didn't
know him or meet him.
No, Leia just heard of Obi-Wan.
Which is like, what?
And Han thought he was a crazy old man.
Yeah, so like...
They didn't have a connection.
This is the stupidest. He should have just been Jason. Why didn't they just make him Jason Solo?
I don't fucking know. These idiots. J.J. Abrams.
Oh, listen, I will... If I ever come across J.J. Abrams, I am fighting that man. I am fighting that man.
Is it for making Poe quote-unquote straight in the last movie? Is it?
It's for making Poe straight. It's for never knowing how to end a fucking franchise. It's like destroying every TV show he's ever been a part of.
Not bringing back Phasma. We can all put this in our sequels episode.
Yeah, but I'm just like, JJ, listen. JJ Abrams. He once upon a time was my favorite sci-fi director. When he got a hold of Star Trek, I thought he did a really good job with those movies. I was really into the the movie that everyone fucking loathed, that they just were like, this is so stupid, Super 8. I actually really liked Super 8. I thought it was super chock full of nostalgia and funny. But then again, I haven't seen Super 8 in like 10 years, so I can't vouch for it now.
Yeah, I mean, I hadn't seen all these movies in who knows how long, and look how quickly I've turned on them.
Yeah, so it's very likely that I could find a lot of problematic things with Super 8. But I used to really appreciate J.J. Abrams, especially because he is a big proponent of special effects. Or, sorry, practical effects.
Oh, yeah.
Which, again, is something that I like in movies. But anyway, I will fight that man if I ever run into him. Guaranteed.
I like how you mentioned that your notes are a mess, because at this point I just have C-3PO being prissy again. C-3PO is Leia's neurotic gay best friend. Poor C-3PO almost gets left behind. C-3PO falls in Chewie's lap like a damsel in distress. Like, it's just...
We have to do a supercut of just C-3PO.
He's such a queen.
He really is. He's really, like, just out here, like, being... He's like the Jonathan Van Ness of Star Wars.
Wow.
I really appreciate it.
You should tweet that at him.
Oh, my God, Jonathan. Oh, my God. He's so great. Anyway, sorry. Yeah, so besides all of the great notes that you've taken on our Lord and Savior C-3PO, I have another comment about the way that Luke looks.
Which is stronger and gayer than ever.
Gayer than, but also that he's giving me his beat face when he's got all his, like, damage happening from, I forget why he has a beat up face.
He certainly gets clobbered by the Yeti.
Oh, maybe it was the Yeti.
Yeah, he definitely has like a black eye from the Yeti.
I don't know. In that moment, I was looking at his mouth and I was like, he looks like Chris Pine.
I don't know if you ever want to do the Star Wars Christmas special that's on YouTube in its entirety. But Mark Hamill had just gotten a nearly fatal car accident, so they beat his face in the sense that they covered him with foundation. It's very weird to look at.
Oh my God.
And you get to meet Chewie's family.
I am so fucked up from this information.
Another fun fact, I'm getting a lot of this information from a podcast called Newcomers, which has Lauren Lapkus and Nicole Byer,
Nicole Byer,
Yeah, Nicole Byer rules, who are watching Star Wars for the first time and give their reviews of Star Wars properties. And they did an episode on the...
Christmas special?
Yeah, on the Christmas special. And apparently Carrie Fisher was given a copy by George Lucas as a gift for doing the commentary on one of the Star Wars DVDs. And she would play it at parties when she wanted people to leave.
That is why I love Carrie Fisher. I gotta hand it to that woman. I gotta hand it to her.
She actually wanted to fight George Lucas on like the fact that she didn't wear a bra in the first movie.
Did you ever see the speech she gave?
Something about getting choked by her own bra in space.
Something, well, I think that was in more detail, but there was like, George Lucas was like getting an award and they brought Carrie Fisher out to speak and like present the award to him, and she was like, that new chick, she gets to change every scene, but me, you said I couldn't wear a bra because there's no underwear in outer space.
Oh my fucking God. Drag him to filth.
No underwear in outer space. I hate George Lucas so much. I hate him so much. Oh my God, yeah, but Carrie Fisher saved it. So C-3PO is being a queen. Mm-hmm. Beat face Luke is really giving us Chris Pine vibes. And now I have a note here that every time I know the sister kiss is coming.
Oh.
And every time I hate it so much.
It always bothers me when movies and shows give screen time to incest but not gay couples.
Like, that right there, what you just said, is such a perfect summation of just what North American culture is, or like Western culture is.
It's so fucking absurd.
They're like, I know what's funny. A brother kissing his sister. But let's cancel Love, Simon because we don't like anybody to be even remotely gay.
So there's that kiss, and theoretically George Lucas didn't know that they were going to be siblings at the time. He just came up with that on the fly later. Don't know if I believe it though.
I do, because there's so many inconsistencies in all of the Star Wars universe in these, like, earlier movies, like the originals and the prequels. Like, the whole bit where he's like, do you remember your mother? And she was like, little bit. I was pretty young when she died. She literally died giving birth to the, like, you couldn't have recalled that was something you put in your fucking insanely famous movies and then, like, make it match. That I just fucking... Good thing I have a squishy. I need to squeeze it.
Yeah, stress ball. Well, I mean, outside of that George Lucas a plot hole, so weird that Leia and Han's kiss is meant to be romantic and not creepy.
Yeah, which ties into the note I have here of Han is so gross with all of these sweethearts and calling her sweetheart.
Condescending the fuck out of her.
Yeah.
The
princess. Yeah. Fucking Commander Organa, anyway.
Truly. But also there's a part that I missed, which is Yoda!
Oh yeah, Yoda comes in! Because Luke gets separated, and he goes and trains with our best ace icon, Yoda.
Now, Yoda in this movie is almost a completely different character than the prequels.
Yes.
He is a weird, senile-seeming old man
who's gone crazy from isolation.
Yeah, and he seems like scared of Luke at first, which seems unlikely.
Well, he's playing a ruse.
I guess.
When Luke first shows up, he's like, Yoda, you're looking for.
What about Luke does he have a tattoo on his face that is just like, please lie to me? If you are a Jedi,
really?
If you are a Jedi, I can be tricked. I'm so trickable.
Poor Luke. I feel bad for Luke. Luke feels like my son. I just want to take care of him.
Like, he's lied to about his parents. He's lied to about Yoda. What's next?
I mean, what is next? Let's see.
Han saying he's not attracted to him.
Yeah. He's lied to for a while about who his father was. Yeah.
Yes. Not great.
Yeah. So so we get Yoda.
Yeah, and then we get some sexual harassment.
Yeah, which, chicken or the egg. I don't know. Sexual harassment, Han is in full force. And yeah, I gotta say, I truly believe that Leia doesn't like Han.
Yeah, she doesn't really give any indication that she has warm feelings towards him.
No, she's always just like, ew, gross. And he's like, you like me? And she's like, no. Also, where the fuck did that come from? Because there wasn't a lot of build of sexual tension or anything between them in the first movie. Because I think George Lucas fully intended for Luke and Leia to be a couple and not brother and sister.
Yeah.
Lazy man. Anyway, yeah. And so, like, out of nowhere, she's like, oh, Han, don't leave the Resistance. Like, you're a good pilot. You can't leave. I need you. And he was like, you love me. And she was like, what?
Yeah.
No, you're a good pilot. Just chill. Yeah. And he's like, you love me. And she's like, I literally am like 20 years younger than you. I am cooler and hotter than you. Why? And he's just like cornering her in hallways and like forcing himself on her and calling her sweetheart. And she's like, I hate you. I believe that she hates him.
Oh, same. It sucks so fucking much to see like this male fantasy play out of like, even though I'm a dork who thinks all women are playing hard to get, I'm gonna fucking see myself through the eyes of this guy who's too cool for any woman to say no. And that's disgusting.
Yeah. Oh my God. We have just been saturated in hetero white men's fantasies.
I always call this a con. I've been scammed by this movie. I think all men who believe that women are playing hard to get have been scammed.
100%.
Moving on. Who helps the situation?
C3. P.O.
Feminist icon C-3PO
Icon.
breaks up this creepy
HR droid.
He breaks up this creepy ass kiss because of a breakthrough on the Millennium Falcon, and he's just like, sir, I fixed it. And Han is like, shitty timing. And fucking Leia is like, I'm out.
Yeah.
And it's very good. Thank you, C-3PO, for having no social awareness and breaking up that creepy ass kiss.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much for all of the people out here who be awkward as fuck, who walk in on shitty situations and don't even realize they're breaking it up.
Yeah, and they're just like...
I've been that person several times in my life.
At this point, I clearly was sad because I just said, we've lost sassy Juan Kenobi, and I'm sad.
Sassy.
I know this isn't how time works, but Ewan McGregor, please save me.
Oh my god, don't you wish that we could just... Don't we wish that Ewan McGregor was like a Cullen-esque vampire who just appeared in movies throughout all of time?
You have no idea. Of course I do. Of
Sassy
course I do.
Sassy Juan Kenobi really just glued together Star Wars.
He truly did.
I love Sassy Juan. Though I do love Leia. I feel like she glues us a little bit.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Then... I'm not sure you remember, but this is the point in the movie where they've tried to take refuge on an asteroid away from gunfire or laser fire, but they actually end up in the mouth of a giant worm.
How in the fuck did I forget that?
I don't know. But
what? Really?
Yeah. And there's all these...
Jesus.
There's all these, like, bats that are freaking Leia the fuck out while her and Han go out to look at what's wrong with the ship. And C-3PO, regardless of the fact that he is inside the ship behind glass, is screaming at the top of his metallic lungs when he sees these bats outside.
So you don't relate.
No,
right
never.
Off. Because you would just be like, friends?
Friends.
My friends.
My friends.
The cryptid that you are.
Truly. Mm-hmm. But yeah, just C-3PO being like such a priss. Just being like, oh, goodness, oh no.
Oh, C-3PO. Oh, he's the glue. He's
Yeah.
our glue in these movies.
Oh my god, I really just wrote about C-3PO. I have the next two notes. So we're skipping, my notes are skipping past whatever the fuck happens after this. They land on Cloud City to hang out with Lando. And while Lando is like hitting on Leia and like, you know, teasing Han, C-3PO goes to introduce himself and Lando walks away mid-sentence. And C-3PO is so miffed by this.
Well, yeah, because it's fucking rude.
Yeah, it is fucking rude.
Lando's not a friend to... But Lando is a friend to droids.
Is he?
Well, in Solo, he is.
You're right. He did have L3. L3, my favorite bot. Anyway, yeah, we'll get to that in our Solo ep. Mm-hmm. I have more C-3PO notes. You know, he gets lulled into a trap on Cloud City because he thinks he hears R2's voice, and he's like, "My husband!"
That was so funny.
My
oh
husband!
my god, that was so funny. Oh my, I'm so glad you brought that up because that's like one of my favorite scenes. He's just like, R2? And then he's just like goes and gets fucking doinked by whatever the hell's in there.
Oh, and that is how we learn that droids feel pain, I think. No, wait. Oh my god, it's not even this movie yet. In the third movie, when he's in Jabba the Hutt's palace, is when they're torturing a droid.
Yabba. I like saying Yabba. I like how Diego Luna, because he speaks Spanish, pronounces Jabba with an H. It makes me like inconsolably happy.
Inconsolably. And yeah, the only one who loves C-3PO enough to look for him is Chewie, I guess. Because Chewie eventually finds C-3PO.
Chewie? Oh my god. Okay, and there is a note that I have about Chewie and Han in here, but I actually can't find it right now, so fuck me. But basically, I just like how Chewie always seems a little bit jealous of whoever Han is giving attention to. And you see this so much in the movie Solo, but it does like happen in shades.
Man, you're so right. This unrequited love writes itself.
I know. I feel really bad for Chewie.
Man. Oh my god. But you know what sucks?
What?
Further pitying Chewie, after C-3PO gets rescued by him, Fucking C-3PO is so goddamn ungrateful to Chewie. Calling him names, unhappy that his body isn't all together right away. This fucking queen can't even say
Very
thank
fussy.
you.
He's very fussy.
He's very particular.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to diagnose a robot with a mental illness or a personality disorder, but I'm just saying it's...
I'm just saying we're doing it.
I'm just saying it's entirely possible that C-3PO may suffer from what I suffer from, which is BPD, because he seems to deal exclusively in extremes.
I could see him being either that or he just has, like, extreme anxiety. Like, I feel like he has, like, really extreme anxiety.
Man.
Which is crazy to think that droids have mental illness, because he so clearly does.
Yeah.
He's a very neurotic bot.
Yeah, I mean, like, the fact that he's Leia's neurotic gay best friend is very fun.
I know.
But not for him.
Not for him, but for us, the viewer.
So
we love some comedic pain.
Yeah.
Don't we?
We really do.
Okay, there is one note that I just want to say before we totally move off Han Solo, because I don't know about you, but I don't have many notes after this.
I have notes about the battle between Luke and Han. Or not Luke and Han. Luke and Vader.
Oh, yeah, for sure. But I wrote this and I really feel like it just sums up, like, this is a seminal moment for me to sum up everything I feel about Han Solo. Where I just wrote, at this point, I'm so disgusted by Han Solo that I'm considering never speaking to another man for the rest of my life.
Wow. Real.
That's just where I'm at spiritually.
I mean, imagine if this movie were the reverse, where, like, it's only women and Han Solo is the only man. Think of how quickly he would be killed. If he got dropped onto Wonder Woman's island of Amazons...
Oh my god!
Do you know how quickly he would be dropped?
Robin Wright would just stick her sword right through him.
Whereas Luke would flourish. He's the Chris Pine.
He's the gentle Chris Pine.
Yeah. We will be covering Wonder Woman at some point.
Yes, 100%. And shout out to my friend Abby, who was like, if you cover Wonder Woman, I'll be, like, existentially happy. And I was like, sweet, because we're probably going to do that.
For sure.
Yeah, so...
Fuck Han Solo.
Fuck Han Solo. There's just another note I have about, basically Leia picking up on Lando when she kind of, like... There's, like, this moment they're, like, interacting, and I think Chewie... I forget how it goes, because I'm me. Okay, we don't expect details from me. Just lower those expectations right away.
For sure.
But she basically says, yeah, like, they're very friendly. She's like, she's just like, y'all are in love with each other.
Between who?
Lando and Han.
Oh, wow.
When they're referencing their past, he was like, yeah, we've been friendly or something. I forget how it gets brought up, and she just emphasizes it. She's like, very friendly.
Wow, when we get to Solo, we're just going to dig into that. Like a meal.
Like a meal, Jerry. That's a quote for that nobody understands. Anyway. Oh, and it also feels like Leia's suffering from compet, which is compulsive heterosexuality.
Man, that's such a good point.
Yeah.
She's surrounded by men. What else is she supposed to do?
Well, yeah, and I feel like she just has no feelings for Han, like I was saying. And she's just like, well, I guess, like, this is kind of it. I just have to, I mean, it's not like I could ever date anybody else besides a man.
It's happening to her. It's not like she's not being an active participant in it.
Yeah, like I could 100% believe that she thought that love was just having a man kiss you with your eyes open, like thinking about what you're gonna eat for dinner, you know? Like
that, for any of y'all who like stand-up comedy, I highly recommend listening to The Comedy of Cameron Esposito. And
please.
Yeah, she's a wonderful lesbian, and she actually does talk about pretty openly what it was like for her before she realized she was a lesbian. She grew up in like a small suburb, went to a Catholic school, and she describes pretty much what you just said, which is having a boyfriend and, you know, not making out a whole lot with him, but just assuming that's what you're supposed to do the whole time, thinking about like your best friend who you're in love with but you don't realize.
Yeah, so compulsive heterosexuality, for anybody who doesn't know what that is, I'll try and find another video and link it in the description that
it's pretty
covers
self-explanatory
it.
though.
It is very necessary, but I also just like to shout out queer YouTubers. So
yeah, for sure.
For sure.
All right. Well, my next note is about the Vader battle. So, are you there yet, or is?
I guess the only thing I would have, like, CP3O, I think has the hots for Lando immediately. I think he's kind of like, ooh, like charmed by him. So that's just fun to note. Han is rolling his eyes at Lando, pretending to like Leia when he knows Lando likes him. I thought that was a moment. Just like really, I guess basically I'll just skip over everything else and just say dig really deep into the scenes with Lando and Han, because I think there's like just so much subtext there.
Yeah, and I also want to shout out Billy D. Williams, who plays him. Billy D. Williams uses all types of pronouns and came out as, I believe, gender fluid.
I love that for them.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but uses, I believe, like Billy D said, any types of pronouns. So just so y'all know, Billy D is not a cisgendered person.
Oh my god, not a cis. There should be an award for that.
And I think that just adds a lot of layers to Lando's character, especially because, when Donald Glover played him, the people making the movie at the time stated that character, Lando, is supposed to be pansexual. But we'll, of course, dig very deep into that for Solo. But as of right now, this amount of Lando is cool.
Yeah, for sure. So now Vader battle.
Yeah. So Vader and Luke are fighting. Luke is convinced he can win for whatever fucking reason, regardless of the fact that he hasn't even finished Yoda's training. He decides to go back onto he decides to find Leia and Han because he believes they're in danger on this cloud city, but he's being lured into a trap. Anyway, him and Vader start lightsaber battling, and there's a point where Luke drops down. Maybe it's that he falls off something or he pushes Vader. But regardless of the fact that you can't see any facial expression, the way that Vader is facing not exactly the camera, but near the camera, looks like his face is saying, "Are you fucking serious?"
Yeah.
I am so done. And it's just so funny to me. He's fighting his son, which presumably he knows that. And he's just trying to drop him. And Luke is just I can do this. I'm a big boy. And and Vader is just basically looking at the camera like he's in the office going, "Really?
Yeah.
Really? We're doing this?" I guess he's just really fucking done, which at his age, I'm sure I would be too.
Oh my god, all that evil. It really takes the piss out of you. It really just ages you up.
I bet.
Yeah, so I happen to like Empire Strikes Back as a film. Sin Han Solo.
Yeah. Sans Han Solo?
Well, that's the French, but sin is the Spanish.
Oh.
Sin nombre. Without a name. Anyway, we're turning left. Okay. But I actually like the ending of Empire Strikes Back.
Where Luke has lost his hand and he's dangling from the bottom of Cloud City, and Leia psychically knows where he is, so he drops into the spaceship and then gets a new robot limb.
And we get the big reveal. Luke, I am your father.
That's not what he says.
Well, the gist. That's the gist.
He says, "No, I am your father."
Right, which...
Close enough.
So this is the line that before you've even watched Star Wars. I grew up...
because it's in Toy Story.
Oh. Shit, you're right. It is in Toy Story. That's why I knew it. But still, I knew nothing about Star Wars. I was not raised with Star Wars, but I knew Luke, I'm your father. Or, no, I'm your father. I knew that line. I knew that Vader was Luke's father. I knew that Darth Vader was, the villain of villains. I knew, the dun, 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 dun. Yeah, I knew that, score before I ever watched Star Wars at age 17.
Right.
So to me, Empire Strikes Back is one of my favorite Star Wars movies because it's got all the things that are recognizable about Star Wars in it. But also, again, me being a photographer and caring so much about the visuals of something, thought there was a lot of really beautiful shots, especially in the tundra landscape that we get at the beginning of the movie. Thought it was really beautiful to I could have screenshot a lot of it and just been damn.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay. So I enjoyed the journey of Empire Strikes Back to get to that like sweet moment of no, I'm your father. That to me made it worth it, even though I could have just literally killed Han Solo at every moment.
I mean, yeah, what I have here is, I think, worth noting. Lando and Han are both incredibly, like, whiny.
God.
Lando is so pissed that the deal is not proceeding on the terms that he wanted. Him and Vader essentially had a deal where he will let Vader onto the ship in order to, like, capture Han, but he bargained that Leia and Chewie go free. And when Vader like changes the terms of those deals, he openly like complains about it to Vader's face, and Vader is like, careful I do not change the terms of our deal further. And it's like, yeah, you're fucking mouthing
spicy.
You're fucking mouthing off to Darth Vader because like he's because he like reneged on this deal that you surely knew you were making with an evil person. You can't be that surprised, Lando.
I know. Damn it, Lando.
Yeah.
Lando, though.
An airhead.
Very much.
A himbo.
A himbo. Big himbo. Handsome himbo.
Yeah, big himbo energy. And then the last two notes are about C-3PO naturally. So there's a part where C-3PO is scolding R2-D2 about stranger danger, which is absolutely fucking crazy considering that C-3PO is in 12 different pieces because he thought he hurt his husband in a closet. Oh, symbolism.
Whoa. Hurt his husband
Heard.
in a... Heard, sorry, yeah. Heard his husband in a closet. Wow. Let us out the damn closet.
Hate to be in the closet.
Hate the closet.
And then in the final getaway chase scene, C-3PO is insisting R2-D2 help him reattach his legs instead of help them achieve hyperspace to get away from the bad guys.
Because husband first. That's true love.
No, it's being a diva. This is still husband first by making sure he escapes alive and then attaching his legs later.
Yes, but you know what? C-3PO is asking for what he needs.
Oh my god. He's being a baby.
He is.
And you know it.
All right, so that wraps up Empire Strikes Back and brings us right into Return of the Jedi, a.k.a. Leia's Bikini, a.k.a. Why I Hate George Lucas.
Yeah. Well, I mean, luckily for you, we've got an opening with gay robots on a journey, which is always great.
How? Just bringing it back to the first.
Yeah, C-3PO. His neurosis is honestly charming, as always.
Yep.
He is, him and R2-D2 are approaching Jabba the Hutt's palace because something we skipped over in the last movie. Han does get frozen in carbonite and sent to Jabba as payment, considering he just never paid Jabba back any of the money he owes him.
Yeah, because Han is a fucking dirty rat.
Yeah. So, in order to get Han back, there is a plan that's devised that we don't know about. C-3PO and R2-D2 are sent to Jabba's palace to negotiate in one way or another, but not in a way they understand. C-3PO is very nervous, and R2-D2 plays a video in front of Jabba that just simply says, it's Luke. And he's in all black. He's sleek. He's powerful and transforming his image. And it says that he wants to negotiate the terms in order to get Han back. And as a gesture of goodwill, he will be giving his 2 droids to Jabba. And
how dare he sell out his droids like that?
Well, C-3PO was not aware of this plan, and he freaks the fuck out.
Yeah.
Would it kill them to let C-3PO in on a plan for once?
No, it wouldn't. He doesn't keep his cool very well.
What makes you say that? Is it just everything?
It's pretty much everything.
So R2-D2 keeps enough cool for the both of them.
Thank God.
They start working for Jabba, and finally, we understand that droids can feel pain. We see the last translator droid that existed before C-3PO for Jabba is getting tortured by having a hot press burned on its tiny feet.
Oh,
and
so sad.
George Lucas, can you explain? No, you can't. But I would like someone to explain to me why you would make droids able to feel pain, because that is some sadistic shit.
It is sadistic shit.
We essentially are watching slaves be tortured.
Thank God.
No!
That's what we needed.
No!
Jesus.
And that's just fucking horrible. Also, C-3PO, how is he meant to keep his cool when he doesn't even know the plan, which means he doesn't even know he's supposed to be getting saved at the end of this? He just thinks he's been, like, traded to a slave master where he'll be treated way worse than he was previously.
I hate it.
Well, at first we don't see Leia in a bikini, though.
No, we don't see Leia in a bikini, but this movie is known for Leia's bikini and known for me having to listen to men talk about how their first crush was Leia in a bikini, or how they first, like, jerked off to Leia in a bikini.
Oh, God!
That is, like, my bane of my fucking existence. And
I actually want to throw up.
You know whose existence that was also the bane of? Fucking Carrie Fisher and her whole family. Like,
trash. So well, I mean, right now what we're seeing Leia in is she is in a disguise as a bounty hunter who wants to barter for Han's life. Mm-hmm. We don't know it's Leia at the time, but essentially a bounty hunter comes to try and like ask for Han, and is comes bringing Chewie. Brings Chewie as prisoner, I believe.
Yes.
And has a detonator that she's threatening to explode, and Jabba, like, more or less concedes to the terms of whatever this person wants.
So wait, I have Boba Fett seems to really be enjoying this gay bar. Is that Leia?
Boba Fett is a bounty hunter who sold Han to Jabba and is chilling in Jabba's palace.
Okay. I thought when you said she disguised herself as a bounty hunter, I was like, wait a second, was she disguised as Boba Fett?
No, she's got that. She's got a way weirder outfit that I'll show you a picture of after this podcast. I think
it's coming back to me now. But,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah. So anyway, Boba Fett is enjoying himself in this weird gay bar.
And then we get our first look at my favorite character.
Oh, God.
Salacious B. Crumb.
I can't believe you learned its name.
Abby told me the name.
For those of you who are wondering, Emma is referring to the weird, spindly puppet that's...
I called it a Muppet-looking thing.
Yeah, that, like, lives in Jabba's tail, I guess.
I fucking so relate.
Okay.
To Salacious B. Crumb.
Just vibing.
He's not only vibing, but he is just evil and small and wiry.
That's true.
And I gotta say, the physicality of a character really is what usually ties me in, like with the Q-tip alien in the prequels.
The chameleons,
yeah. Yeah, and I was like, damn, I see myself in that long neck creature. And then I saw Salacious B. Crumb the first moment. I was like, this dude gets me. If I were in the Star Wars universe, I would 100%, I would have been first life Q-tip monster. When I'm reincarnated, I would have been whatever the species Salacious B. Crumb is.
That's so fucking funny to me, and I'm so happy for you, honestly.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
But yeah, I actually think we're working up to one of my favorite scenes in Star Wars. I was genuinely excited when this scene happened when I was watching at home, which was such a relief that I was actually being engaged with a Star War.
Love it. Being engaged with a Star War. We love it.
Yeah.
We love to see it.
I don't know if I'm skipping through too much, but, like, essentially, Leia tries to get Han out of his predicament in the carbonite by sneaking into the gay bar at night. Mm-hmm. And, you know, Han is released from the carbonite, but he can't even fucking see. As it turns out, Jabba knew the whole time. And he kidnaps them both, puts them in a dungeon with Chewie. And Luke finally waltzes his ass in and tries to save the day.
The prince is here.
Yeah, he's scared than ever.
He's like, I'm here.
I'm here.
Fabulous.
Release those prisoners.
Mwah.
He's
got Freddie Mercury vibes, just saying.
Oh, okay. Well, Freddie Mercury Skywalker.
Oh, somebody make that fan art. Oh my god.
That's so fucking funny.
He is such a Jedi. What a Jedi master Freddie was. Anyway.
So Luke falls into this dungeon where this giant beast and creature is going to kill him, but at the same time of him falling in this dungeon. A Twi'lek slave also falls in, and she gets killed. Fucking R.I.P.
Yeah, R.I.P.
R.I.P. to one of the only women on screen.
Wait a second. Okay, so I have a note here that says R.I.P. the green lesbian who tried to vanquish Harvey Weinstein at the gay nightclub.
Yeah, so, yes, that Twi'lek does try and get away, and that's the reason why I think she ends up...
It's the same green lesbian.
Yes.
Okay, great. Okay.
Yeah,
I love her.
She was trying to get away from Jabba, pulling at her chain, and at the same time as Luke getting falling into this cage, the Twi'lek is on top of that trapdoor, I believe.
Right. Oh.
So she gets eaten first.
Sad.
And then Then Luke slays the beast, and this beast is called a Rancor. The fact that that there was a owner of this Rancor that gets put on screen and who mourns the death of his pet, that did not have to happen.
No.
But George Lucas was like, no.
It's essential material, guys. We got to put it in.
This dead Rancor needs a sad owner to mourn it. I don't know, that's just a funny choice.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it is a funny choice. One of many, like Salacious B. Crumb.
Oh, yeah. You know what? You're right. There's all these small details we don't necessarily need.
But they're there.
Yeah.
Because Salacious B. Crumb, just because I'd love to bring it back to him, I'm pretty sure we see the same scene of him several times.
Oh, absolutely. Where it's just a shot of Jabba's tail and Salacious on top of it.
Going like, or what? Yeah. Yeah.
It's so real.
It's very much like the 1970s Star Wars, or Spider-Man cartoon, where they use like the same shot of him with it over and over and over again.
That makes sense. I also have a note where Jabba is so fucking hard to look at in high definition. I hate it.
This is why I called him the Harvey Weinstein of the Star Wars universe.
His texture sucks.
Yeah.
It sucks, and it's hard to look at, and it's gross.
See, Diego Luna would beg to differ.
Well, he can fight me. We're the same height. He's probably lighter than me.
He's 5'10". I will take any opportunity to talk about Diego Luna, but
we'll get there in Rogue One.
We'll get there, yeah.
So none of this was my favorite scene. My favorite scene is once they are getting sacrificed to the Sarlacc pit, where Luke is taken out of the Rancor cage. Jabba rounds up all of the conspirators, Leia, Chewie, and Han.
Yeah.
Han is
easy
still
to forget.
Han is still kind of half blind from being in carbonite for so long. And Jabba is getting ready to make them walk the plank. Now, this is where I would say Han and Luke's banter is to die for. Some of my favorite lines. How are we doing? Same as always. That bad, huh? It's really good. That's really good. Han going, okay. Han essentially asks, not even asks, but C-3PO translates to them that they're going to be thrown in a Sarlacc pit where they will be digested for 1,000 years and they will be executed immediately. But the exchange goes like this. Han, good, I hate long waits, when being told he's going to be executed immediately. And then is very nihilist. That's very nihilist millennial of him.
It is. That's a doom generation right there.
Yes. Now, meanwhile, R2 is like being Jabba's slave in the sense that he's serving drinks at this gay bar.
Yeah.
C-3PO runs into him for the first time, and he goes, R2, what are you doing here? And at this point, if R2 could talk, I fully believe he would say, I'm fucking serving drinks. What does it look like, honey?
We gotta pay the rent somehow.
Yes. Well, we've got to keep our lodging.
Yeah.
But it's so fucking funny to me. Like, R2 is obviously in on this plan that C-3PO does not know of.
So happy.
Yeah, and I just would like to imagine R2 swearing constantly. What the fuck does it look like I'm doing, sweetie?
Well, he's got that short curmudgeon-y vibe, doesn't he?
He really does.
Yeah, I like it.
Oh my god. And then we get into the battle scene where essentially Luke pretends to jump off the plank. He actually uses that to lever himself. R2-D2 throws him the lightsaber, which he catches midair, and he starts killing off all of the guards on this ship where they were supposed to be thrown off of into this pit of teeth.
Yes.
Do you have any notes so far?
I guess to just cover the ground that has been covered. So Leia saving Han is my sexuality. Definitely loved that moment. Again, still don't buy her liking him. Then they abandon Leia like a couple of times, or at least it seems like that, where they're just like,
poor thing.
She's like, "Hi, I'm here being kept as Harvey Weinstein's fucking slave in goddamn this metal bikini, which does not look comfortable.
No.
In any way." And they're just like, "Oh, Leia, we'll help you." And then they're like fucking off.
Yeah.
Anyway, and she's like, "Well, I guess I'll just do this myself." And she does.
She
vanquish Jabba the Hutt.
Yeah, fuck him.
Oh, my favorite moment of maybe this entire movie.
Yeah.
When R2 literally just dives after C3PO. When it, like, C3PO, like, falls off, and instead of doing anything rational, R2-D2 just whoop right after him. Just, I guess I'm going too. Like, it was...
It's so fucking funny. I think it was part of the plan because they knew that, or sorry, R2-D2 knew the ship was gonna blow up. So he's just like, well, we gotta get out of here somehow.
Okay, so it was so funny to watch it in a context where I was, like, busy taking notes that are now, in hindsight, not so useful.
That's okay.
And I just looked up to see C3PO fall, and then it was just like, woo!
Yeah, R2-D2 makes that noise.
Oh my god, it was so funny.
It's pretty fucking funny.
I lived for it. But I skipped over all the prime bants that was between Han and Luke, because it was really good.
Yeah.
Because I was taking too many notes about Leia being left the fuck behind.
Well, it's a good thing she can take care of herself.
She could, and killing this horrible sexual predator.
But
slug creature.
Yeah. Also, something I find really funny. So Boba Fett is a character that I think mostly got popular just simply based on aesthetic. He is a character that sold plenty of merchandise, regardless of the fact that he didn't really have lines.
Yeah. Question?
Yeah.
Is he a Mandalorian?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
That's the whole thing.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, he's a bounty hunter and a Mandalorian. But something I find so funny is after all of this time of him being built up this super cool, mysterious character who, granted, is not that good at his job.
Question again. Sorry.
Yes.
Sorry, teacher. One more question.
Sure.
He's also a clone.
Yeah, no.
I thought Boba Fett was a clone.
Oh, you're right. Sorry, you're right. I was thinking of Jango Fett. Jango Fett was the OG, and Boba Fett is a clone of him.
Right. So, interesting. I guess Mandalorians are my favorite word. They're a creed.
Yeah.
They're not, like, a specific race.
Correct.
Okay, so I was, for a minute in my head, my wires got crossed. And I was like, can a clone be a Mandalorian? But
of course, why not?
Cool.
And something I find really funny is this Mandalorian, this Boba Fett, this bounty hunter that gets built up as this super cool and mysterious character, dies in the dumbest way. He, like, literally just, like, gets accidentally knocked off the ship and falls into the Sarlacc pit.
Which, like, yeah, okay, yeah.
Use your booster jets, are you kidding me?
Yeah. I didn't make a note about this, but I'm glad you reminded me, because I remember watching it and being like, was that Boba Fett's whole
arc?
Yeah. I was like, they did Boba Fett so dirty.
Correct. In the canon of this movie, he dies in the dumbest way possible, and it's so fucking funny to me. Oh, I'm glad I wrote down here, those tall black riding boots, Luke, you shouldn't have. That's for me. He looks like he's gonna ride the most gothic horse, and I'm ready.
Oh. That's when Mark Hamill starts to turn dark side and go Joker. Oh, and we love that.
The black turtleneck he's wearing.
Woo!
It's a lot.
He's in art school now.
Oh! We love that for him. What's next? Eyeliner?
Oh, look, and he's a performance artist.
The eyeliner comes in the Christmas special.
Oh my god! When they have to
draw
his face onto his mangled face.
Correct.
Good. So I have an interesting note that maybe you can decipher for me, and if not, we can just move on.
Sure.
Leia is just ditching these men every chance she gets. Good for her.
It's possible she finds her own way off the palace ship, aside from where the boys are off to.
Crash lands in the Ewoks.
Oh, that
planet.
is so far ahead.
It is very far ahead. It is.
Man, you skipped the rest of the movie until the Ewoks?
Yeah, that's actually pretty on brand for me.
That's okay. I'll fill in the blanks. So, this is another good note. For the one with arms in their relationship, C-3PO is surprisingly useless.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's pretty accurate. Yeah.
Which I think I was referring to that scene where they fall off the ship.
Why is he this way? Oh, I'm dying.
Tis the way.
Tis the way.
Yeah. Now, again, before the Ewoks, another major event, Yoda fucking dies.
And, okay, so Yoda is our gay elder.
He is.
And...
I mean, I just fucking wrote, I can't believe you're gonna make me watch this diva of a puppet die.
Oh.
You're about to fucking die and you can't fess up to lying about this man's death? The audacity. Or sorry, this man's dad. So I was also mad that Yoda was like, burying the lead when he's about to fucking croak.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, Luke, we don't have to talk about your father. And it's like, no, we do, because you've got seconds. I checked my watch. 6 seconds left, so now's the time.
And boy, does he make a meal out of that.
Oh, he really drags it out.
Father is... Oh no, just when... Oh,
bring
he
me
might
some water.
be dark. Oh. And I'm like, out with it.
It's a lot that we have to deal with.
Oh,
yeah. So there's that whole dumb shit. Luke finally learns that Vader is in fact his father, because I guess he just hadn't accepted it yet.
Oh, shit!
Yes.
No! Sorry, it's not like he's saying, oh, no, yeah. He's saying that Leia's his sister.
Yeah.
Right, I'm sorry. Yeah. Me all like, I love this movie because at the end we finally get the big reveal. Bitch, I fucking full on forgot that. I full on forgot that we ended with Luke, I am your father. No, I am, whatever the line is. And that the big reveal in Empire was that Leia's his sister.
Correct.
Or, sorry, Return of the Jedi.
This is the reason why I think George Lucas actually may have had in mind that Luke and Leia were always siblings, is because from the beginning, I'm pretty sure both Ben and Yoda talk about how Luke is not the only one. There is another.
So was Leia a Jedi?
In some versions.
That's not good enough for me.
So in the original trilogy, she doesn't train to be a Jedi. If you're asking if she's Force sensitive, yes, because she's always able to psychically know where Luke is.
Yeah.
In the canon of Star Wars, because of the sequels, she did train to be a Jedi after Empire Strikes Back, after Return of the Jedi.
Good. Okay.
Yeah, she does. Yeah, but
I like that.
There was a gap for a long time. People really wanted that to happen because in some of the extended universe fiction, she actually became a Jedi Master and taught Padawans. So I can understand why people want that. So by Rise of Skywalker, they're like, oh yeah, retcon, even though Leia's dead now, she did have Jedi powers, as it turns out, and she trained for a hot minute.
Yeah, I guess I don't need her to be a Jedi, but I just like the idea that she's also very Force sensitive and like, well, we see her float through fucking space in the sequels, so.
If Luke had, I think the point of this is if Luke had died, Leia would have been the Jesus. She would have been Jesus.
Would have been a better movie.
I mean, that's sort of... It reminds me of Harry Potter because there's, like, the heir and the spare.
Yeah, Neville, who was my favorite character in Harry Potter. Like, my absolute... Like, I was obsessed with him.
Yeah, Neville would have been the chosen one if Harry Potter died.
He was so sweet, and I really liked Neville. Because Harry was a bitch, anyway.
Wow, okay.
Sorry.
Speaking of, Chewie, I'm just going to assume, is also swearing all the time.
Oh, 100. Well, yeah. He's like a mercenary.
Fuck you,
Hold on.
I can't even believe you can do that.
Just a little Wookiee for you.
Yeah. And as for... I mean, we're getting to the Ewoks in my notes.
Yes.
Good to know that even in war times, Leia still has time for some waterline eyeliner.
Hey.
Something I also want to point out is with this whole makeup thing, I mean, obviously it's always infuriating when you're, like, watching a woman who's supposed to be just waking up with a full face of makeup.
Walking Dead.
And that's exactly what I wanted to talk about. It always bothered me in The Walking Dead that women didn't have any body hair.
Oh my Oh my god. Yeah. The sex scenes were so irritating because you would see so much pit action, so many armpits, and just perfectly... Maybe she's born with it. Maybe it's she's shaving in the apocalypse?
Imagine getting access to clean enough water, a clean razor that's not rusty and going to cut you.
Yeah.
And shaving cream. No.
There's so much shit going on in my house right now, so also sorry for weird background noises, but the insistence that women cannot exist without like makeup, shaving, all of the trimmings of whatever beauty standards are in at that moment.
Regardless of what situation they're in.
I know. Regardless, well, it's like, I think the worst culprit for this was always the CW channel.
Oh my god.
When I used to watch Vampire Diaries.
Hey.
And Elena would wake up. There's so many scenes of her, like, waking up in her bedroom.
Well, you gotta have those cryptic nightmares.
Yeah, you gotta have cryptic nightmares and also people watching you sleep. That's just really hot if you're a teenage girl, apparently. Anyway, but she'd always wake up with, like, not just makeup, but, like, a smoky eye and, like, perfectly curled, extension-filled hair.
That's so
and a bra on, because people with boobs love to sleep with bras on.
Every day.
Every day. Yeah, I'm just like... So, to see Leia fighting in the rebel fucking resistance army and, like... I think I'm just gonna line my waterline real quick. I'm just gonna put on a little blush and do my hair up, and I'll be right with you. Don't wait for me. I'll be right behind you. Just gotta finish this eyeliner.
It's so upsetting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, now we're on to your note where she fucked off.
She fucked off and...
made friends with Ewoks.
Leia will probably save these fuckers again now that the Ewoks have made her their queen, which is a side movie I didn't know I wanted. So there's a whole note there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She manages to peacefully converse with the Ewoks, whereas when the men are faced with the Ewoks, they are immediately taken as prisoner.
Yeah, because...
confrontational.
Yeah, and Han has that energy.
Yeah.
Also, love when the Ewoks find C-3PO and they start breaking into, I swear to God, I thought they were going to start singing No Diggity.
Shut up.
It was like, like, I was like waiting because there was like, they started doing this like ritualistic humming and I was like, did they sample that for No Diggity? I was a little curious.
Well, not curious enough to Google it.
I didn't Google it.
It's
but
fine.
I thought it was fun trivia if you want to make it a fact.
For sure.
Yeah.
Just lie the fuck out of that.
Let's lie.
Yeah. Also, I remember Ewoks being cute.
Yeah, they're not.
No, 90% of them are fucking terrifying.
They look like the cats from the movie that are like, they have like human faces, but then like all this fur. It's really creepy.
And their teeth.
Yeah, they're really scary teeth.
And their eyes are doll eyes, and it's so fucked up. But anyway, I'm glad C-3PO is getting treated like the royalty he is.
Yeah.
Get pampered.
Yeah, Leia and C-3PO, the most deserving characters.
Yes.
Only recognized by the fucking terrorist teddy bears.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, you know what? This is why I love the Ewoks.
So true.
People make fun of people. They're like, George Lucas just wanted to sell toys. Da, da, da. Obviously, yes, George Lucas is a capitalist before all things, even before being human.
Oh, yeah.
But I'll buy those fucking toys. Actually, no. Now that I know that they're creepy looking, I had a different memory of them.
As a child, we would have.
As a child, I would have bought an Ewok. Now I'm buying a Baby Yoda as a grown woman.
Or a Porg.
Oh, they're so cute.
They're okay.
Oh, no. When it's like screaming when Chewie's flying them. I And I'm a sucker for all of that shit.
Well, that's who he's marketing to directly.
Yeah, so take my bunny, you sick, gross warlord.
Oh, well, there you go. Oh, I did want to mention this, though. So the Ewoks, when C-3PO is explaining to his teammates that he can, in fact, communicate with them, he does call their language a primitive dialect.
Rude.
Well, I think that word, it does explain the condescending narrative that we're seeing these people through. It's not that much of a stretch to see that George Lucas is like exotifying and having this ideal that indigenous people are primitive and just not, I don't want to say not as intelligent, but it definitely seems like a condescending, shitty narrative.
Yeah, which, like you just said, we see that throughout with like Jar Jar Binks people too, and with the Tusken Raiders.
Oh yeah.
And what are those little tiny red-eyed creatures?
Jawas.
The Jawas. Yeah. We see that.
Yeah. Thanks, George Lucas.
Anyway,
so C-3PO is being worshipped, and Leia is just like living her life, but she's like, "Oh no, my friends." So Luke tells C-3PO, being like, tell the Ewoks that if they don't let us go, you're going to get angry and like use magic against them. And C-3PO is like, how the fuck do you expect me to do that? And then he does it, and then Luke starts levitating C-3PO. Something I find incredibly fucking funny about this is obviously C-3PO freaks the fuck out. He doesn't know what's happening because I guess he wasn't caught up to the fact that, like, telekinesis is part of being a Jedi. Maybe him and Luke don't know each other that well. But
yeah.
C-3PO fully thinks he willed himself to levitate, and it's fucking hilarious that he's such a dumbass. He literally is like, thanks, I didn't know I had it in me. Like, that's almost exactly his line at the end when someone's just like, good job, C-3PO. And he's like, didn't even know I had it in me.
Because he will just easily take all the credit for whatever he can. Of course. I like that for him.
At some point, Han is giving him orders, and he literally does a double take. Like, C-3PO's like, you told me to what?
I'm not doing that. That would get me dirty.
Yeah. So, but fuck you. I am human-cyborg relations.
Oh, HR droid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's him.
We stan.
Mm-hmm.
We stan.
I wrote here, Vader hates to be dead named.
Oh.
He hates to be called Anakin.
Which, okay, I like that note.
Vader hates to be dead named.
That is so true.
Yeah, he gets just so furious at it. I also have a note here where it's like, I hate how gross and sexual Palpatine's exchange with Luke is.
Palpatine is like the most typical sexual predator.
So true.
He's like your total archetype of just a sexual predator. I hate him.
It's just...
Which is accurate, I guess we're supposed to.
Yeah, it's just, I extra hate him because there's this unnecessary layer of him imposing sexual notations onto Luke. Like he's preying on him.
Do you think that that's queer coding in the character?
Oh, fuck, you're right. He definitely does that to Anakin in the first 3 movies. Oh, I'm sorry, Vader.
Right. Do you think in like the way he speaks we kind of hear that?
I don't know. I think it's more in his actions than the way he's coded.
Right, okay.
Which is weird to say. Queer coding usually has to do with like someone acting, like a male character acting more effeminate.
Right, and that's not present in Palpatine, you're right.
Not really, he's just gross.
Yeah. I'm hitting a lot of misses right now.
No, it's okay.
That's okay. No, that's good for me. It's good to miss.
I mean, fucking, if we want to talk about stuff you're going to slam dunk, C-3PO is being a hero, and he's so clingy to R2. Those droids, just the gayest.
They continue to be the gayest.
Yeah. I also wrote down, this last act is taking approximately 5 hours.
Oh my god. This movie feels like the last Lord of the Rings movie where there's like about 17 endings.
I mean, the fact that they got Han back, that was the first resolution we needed, and then the second resolution we needed hasn't even happened yet, which is that we want, like, Palpatine and Vader to fall.
Yeah.
And then everything else is filler.
It is so much filler.
Sorry, Ewoks.
Sorry, Ewoks. Chewie Elder Ewok.
But yeah, back to our shiny husbands. Mm-hmm. Fucking C-3PO literally says, R2, why do you have to be so brave? C3, I see you. I see you're pining.
Oh.
He admires his husband so much.
He really does. What a healthy relationship.
now.
Yeah, after he kicked him.
Yeah, the first movie they split up, and he's just like, "I'll never do that again. I'll never leave you. Take my parts."
Who among us hasn't had a fussy, passionate relationship?
God, what a mood.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the reason I'm switching back and forth between talking about C-3PO and R2 and then Darth and Luke is because that's how the movie's structured. Like, these scenes are just interchangeably flickering in and out, where you're seeing what's happening with Leia and Han, and then you're seeing what's happening with the droids, and then you're seeing what's happening back on Palpatine's ship. Like, it's a whole thing.
It is a whole thing.
And it makes for messy notes.
Does make for messy notes. I think I kind of gave up, honestly.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, Darth fully picks up Palpatine and with one hand, because he's had the other hand cut off, chucks him over the fucking railing.
It's so funny because I have a note that says, "Chuck that Palpatine."
It's so funny.
It is the funniest thing because all the lightning.
Yes.
We also get to see like Vader's skeleton.
Oh my
quickly.
God. Oh my God.
Because he's like getting cartoon electrocuted.
Power! Ultimate power! But yeah, the idea that he chucks Palpatine down this hole with one hand.
So funny.
It's really great. The Force really flew through him that day.
Oh.
You know what my last note is?
What?
It's about daddy issues. Luke, your daddy issues are so strong. You think this man can live long enough to have a redemption arc with your crew?
Oh.
He is so desperate to have a father in his life that regardless of the fact that this old-ass man who committed genocide many times over is in his arms dying, he's like, "You can make it, Dad. You got this. Come home with me." And it's like, you think Han and Leia are going to be fucking cool with that? You think they're going to be chill with your daddy-o?
Yeah. No, that's bullshit.
It's not going to happen.
He's killed so many people.
No redemption arc for Vader.
There's no redemption arc for Vader. That is it.
I'm now that I'm reflecting on it, I'm starting to understand Luke's journey a whole lot more. Like, for instance, he did only have Uncle Ben and Aunt Peru. I remembered her name now. Aunt Peru!
There we go.
And he seemed to accept that. Like, granted, he had a disgruntled relationship with them because he wanted to go off on his own, but he was obviously devastated when they died. So that's one father figure out of his life. And then meanwhile, he believed his birth father was always dead, but then he learns he was actually not just a pilot, he was a Jedi, he was a hero. And then this fall from grace where, he was actually alive the whole time and he chose not to raise me. He left me and abandoned me, and that's really hitting me in the feels.
Yeah.
And now, at the last moment where he's finally turned good, where Darth Vader finally becomes Anakin once more, Luke loses him.
Which is very similar to the exact arc we get in the sequels.
Yeah. It's just, Luke losing his father and just mourning that makes sense. But it also would never factor into the larger plot of him having his father survive and then bringing him back to meet his friends. Yeah. Can you fucking imagine what that scene would be like?
Oh my God.
Leia would wait 0.2 seconds before hitting him with a pistol. Like, shoot first, ask questions later.
Yeah. Oh my God, yeah.
He did.
Like Princess fucking Organa would stand for more shit from those two.
No.
God damn it. Yeah. All right. Well,
we've covered it.
We've covered the original Star Wars movies. Final thoughts.
Rise of the Jedi, I guess, is my favorite, but it could serve to be about an hour shorter.
Return or Rise?
Return. I'm sorry.
I'm just trying to get it right. Yeah.
The names of these movies are so generic.
They are very generic. Okay, so Return of the Jedi is your favorite. Who are your candidates for the queerest characters in the franchise? Or, sorry, not the franchise, but these 3 movies.
I'm gonna say C-3PO and Lando.
I would agree. And again,
Luke.
Okay, so, okay.
It's iffy.
Right, so, okay, before I become the narcissist that I am and take over, tell me, what character do you see yourself in?
Oh, I mean, Sassy 1 Kenobi's gone, so the runner-up is C-3PO.
Yeah, I would say R2.
What?
You have a bit more of an R2 vibe.
Without arms, but still reasonable.
Yes.
I have arms, people.
He does have arms. Yeah, but I think that, C-3PO is too kerfuddled to be. But I respect, obviously.
You know what? Actually, you make a good point. R2 is willing to serve drinks and keep secrets and...
Oh my God.
Fucking...
Why am I scared of you now?
and swear his little head off. So maybe that is me.
I do see you as a bit of a tougher cookie.
Yeah, whereas C-3PO is just falling apart at the seams.
And I think that you would have a boyfriend that...
Do you know how much I want a fussy boyfriend who just leans on me so hard?
Yeah, we'll find him.
Well, we'll get there.
We'll get there.
Okay, what about you?
Okay, so my favorite movie still is Empire Strikes Back. Just because I felt the most entertained, I think.
Yeah.
Because I did feel like Return of the Jedi, like you said, could have been an hour shorter.
Oh, yeah.
Though, points for Ewoks. Sorry, gotta do it.
Yeah.
Gotta do it! Baby
Yeah.
Ewok. That's mean. I agree that C-3PO... I think there's actually a lot of potentially queer characters in this movie. In fact, I felt like most of the characters could very easily be queer.
Yeah, I think Han and Luke have a really great bond that you could expand on.
Still Han and Chewie. Is that weird?
No. If the fact that you like this unrequited love story for Chewie, I think that deserves some fan fiction.
I think it really... Yeah, Chewie, especially because I can't wait to get to Solo where we really dive into... I've counted all the times that Chewie was very jealous in Han. Or in Solo. Why did I just pick his first name?
You want to talk about that? I accidentally called the movie Solo Lando. Could you imagine?
Oh, I wish Donald Glover was heading his own Star Wars movie.
Same.
Anyway, so my candidates are definitely C-3PO as our gayest character with an honorable mention to Lando, an honorable mention again to Yoda.
Oh, yeah.
Our gay elder who is teaching Luke all of the ways. And an honorable mention to Leia.
Yeah.
Because I really feel like she is suffering. Somebody needs to free her from that compulsive heterosexuality. Somebody needs to free Leia from her compulsive heterosexuality and let her be the, I think, lesbian queen that she is.
That's such a fucking awesome observation, and what I wouldn't give to see like an equally strong-willed female character to parallel her so that they could have what?
Okay, I'm sorry. We'll hold on that one for the sequels because I think I know who is.
You're right.
I'm not gonna spoil it. Yeah.
No, you're so right. But can you imagine if in the original trilogy that instead of Han, there was like a strong-willed woman who like wasn't creepy and nagging her, but was
Cara Dune.
Oh my god, Cara Dune could
Yeah.
be great. But, like, I'm imagining a character who, like, really rebuffs Leia's ideas, who really challenges her on her, like, strong-willedness. And even if she is right, I think it would serve her well to, like, have her temper put in check.
100%. Yeah.
So to see a woman, like, have that kind of chemistry with her, where they have to actually work out problems instead of just yelling about them.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a silent, broody butch being like, I don't think you thought that through. And Leia being like, what do you mean? And it's like, who's going to head that mission? You will. Well, maybe.
Oh my god. Yeah, I would love it.
Yeah.
I would love it. And, okay, so those are my mentions for the queerest. Again, C-3PO is still the leader. He's the champ.
Yeah.
He's really a good contender for all of Star Wars being the queerest character.
Yeah. But who are you?
Who am I? I'm Salacious B. Crumb.
Oh, God. You're not Leia?
I don't have the focus that Leia has, and I never will.
Okay, so you're okay being a minion.
I 100% would never support Harvey Weinstein. Let's get that straight right out the gate.
Right.
So it would be a different person that I support. It would be like, I'd be like the Salacious B. Crumb to Bernie Sanders.
Oh.
Yeah. So I would just sit on his shoulder as like a wiry little thing and go like, nah, 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 at people. Wow. 100%. C-3PO also, I really do.
Yeah.
100%. I think in these movies, I know I picked Padme for the last, but there's more of a gentleness to Padme than Leia that I related to, so I would say I'm C-3PO if I'm gonna be serious about it.
You're so right. I feel like we really saw Natalie Portman openly weep as Padme. I don't really think... I think if Leia was crying, she'd be angry about it and hiding it.
Yeah.
She wouldn't openly cry.
Which actually, holy shit, now that you say that, I'm way more Leia than I am Padme.
Yeah.
Oh shit! I misread myself.
That's
I hate
okay.
it when I do that. Yeah, I'm Leia. Shit. Okay.
Okay. Goodbye, Salacious B. Crumb.
I mean, but very honorable mention of Salacious B. Crumb.
Yeah. Well, if you've made it this far, congratulations.
Congratulations.
The worst is behind us. We're headed strictly into amazing territory. Maybe, not so great with Solo. But other than that, we are going to be coasting into the sequels, and then possibly, based on how long The Mandalorian is, we're considering a Mando-only episode.
Woo!
And Solo and Rogue One for those extras.
So excited. So I guess that wraps up the episode completely.
Yeah.
You did such a good outro. I'm just floundering now.
Oh, well, you know what we say here on Homo FOMO.
Gay! Awesome.